acting chief executive to give us a word, then we can go on. So, Dr. Emisa, if you can hear me, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Dr. Arthur. I can hear you very well, and thank you very much for all these efforts in trying to help us to build resilience and maintain our mental health. I'm really excited about today's topic because I know that a lot of us, young, old, what have you, are in one relationship or the other. And of course, a relationship can be at various levels or between various people, two people in a group. I mean, there are various relationships we find ourselves in, and we are in these relationships as a result of our access to these people and how confident we are with them, how well we trust them. And we are therefore forced to behave in a particular way regarding how we see them or how we perceive them. So we have sibling relationships, we have our love or whatever relationships. So we have the platonic ones and amorous ones. I'm sure our speakers will delve into all these things. But for us in the mental health space, or for those of us in mental health and trying to always make sure that we improve our mental health, we want to discuss issues that relate to certain actions or omissions we take when we are in a relationship. So I'm sure you have limited it, or you are zooming in on snooping on your partner. It can be in various ways. Yes, technology has come and is widespread and everybody is using technology now. Maybe in the past, it would be you calling somebody to get information about somebody else and all that. But now we have, the technology has made everything, I mean, so complex. Somebody can send you something, within the next minute, the person has deleted it, you don't even see it, and then you are thinking, what did he send, and all that, you want to know. So indeed, technology has its complexities, but it also has aided a lot of relationships because some people are closer to each other. When there are issues, you can quickly get in touch with somebody. You don't have to move from one place to the other before you get it. But in all this, in all these aspects about relationships and how you can improve it, there are issues which, if we do not take good care of, will also affect our mental health and well-being. So this afternoon, I won't talk much. We have seasoned resource persons. Dr. Arthur will do the honors by introducing them, and they will take us through it. Like we are saying, nobody is going to prescribe to you how to manage or how to navigate your relationship. But after you have heard about the do's and the don'ts, or the good parts of it and things that could affect your mental health, maybe you have to take a position and advise yourself. So I will ask that we be very attentive, interactive. I know there'll be a question time when we have questions. Please, let's hold on. We can put it in the chat. Dr. Arthur will take us through all that, or we can also raise our hands and we'll be called to make comments. So Dr. Arthur, thank you very much. And I hope at the end of the day, we would have done justice to the topic and then supported people on how to manage their relationships. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Emisa. That's quite insightful. The rewards and regrets of snooping on your partner's phone. Your mental well-being matters. This is what we are discussing today. Technology have come in to help our relationships so much. It has helped us to develop our relationships, to get closer to people, to manage those relationships in times of conflicts, in terms of making it better, to enhance it, and all that. On the other side of it, it's created some problems. Sometimes a message goes out to a partner, and if you are not lucky, for example, it's misinterpreted. It can cause a whole lot of issues. There is a lack of focus. You find two partners, they go for dinner, they go out, and everybody's holding the phone. They're not talking to each other. These are some of the things that has taken that human aspect of relationships. But most importantly is the issue of trust. And when that one comes in, it becomes a bit of a problem. It puts a relationship in a challenge. And so that is what we are looking at. I mean, snooping on your partner's phone is all about trust, because if there are trust issues, that was what you will be tempted to go look for what is out there in the phone. But we are lucky to have some seasoned facilitators academically and in practice who are going to support us to have a discussion, so that at the end of the day, we'll be able to have a clear perspective on which direction we need to take when it comes to snooping on our partner's phone. When I shared the flyer out there, I had a lot of comments, those who were very upset with that act, and those who were excited as, oh yeah, that's something that we need to talk about. So we are going to have a very interesting discussion. I see a few friends here. Mr. Dantela of Mind Freedom, an active NGO, an old friend, Kizito Uswajiman. Happy to see you all. Sister Joanna, I'm happy to see you all here. So our facilitators, foremost on the list is Dr. Celia Dankwa. She is a lecturer and a counseling psychologist at the University of Ghana. She is also the president when it comes to the Ghana National Association of Certified Counselors. And again, she is the principal of 2C, Institute of Counseling and Technology. She is one of our facilitators. Dr. Dankwa, let's hear your voice and let our participants know that you are here.
Thank you so much. That's me. We hope that we'll have a very great time and we'll all go home very relieved to enjoy our relationship. Thank you.
Good, thank you for coming. Next is Miss Gloria Ayebia Iguaze. She's a clinical health psychologist. She works with the Accra Police Hospital, Lekma Hospital, and 37 Military Hospital. So, you know, she's been running around the place helping people. So that is quite an experience. And also a member of the Ghana Psychological Association. Ms. Iguaze, let's hear your voice.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to you all. I'm happy to be here. I hope you have a good time today.
Good, 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 good. And finally, he's an old-timer on this floor. He's been here quite a few times. Dr. Jonathan Odame, he is a clinical psychologist as well as a lecturer at the University of Ghana. Dr. Odame, say good afternoon to our participants.
Thank you very much, Dr. Atta, and good afternoon to all of us. I wish all of us an exciting and educative and interactive discussion this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Good, thank you. Thank you for thanking us. So now let's get into the pudding and let's see how sweet the pudding is. Dr. Dankwa, let me ask you, how does the phone, the use of the phone, impact on our mental health? I want us to get to the basics of the use of the phone, how it impacts on our mental health, then we'll go into the real issue of what we are discussing today. So how does the use of phone in itself impact on our mental health?
Okay, thank you so much for this question. Now, we all know that now we have the physical world and then the virtual world. And both worlds are so exciting. Now, there are a few limitations of the physical world with regard to interpersonal connectivity, physical meetings. However, the phone as a computer and its accessories have given us the leverage of connecting to a number of people, connecting to a number of messages, collaborating in a number of things, and it's an exciting world to be. So if the phone it's really used and used well. It's something that gives us the very best mental health situation, because anytime, anywhere, anyone, you can use it. And that's what we call ubiquitous. So you have ubiquitous relationship and you enjoy it. So the phone itself as a tool and all the services of them are very good. But then the human face in the usage will let you enjoy it or otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Dama, would you like to top it up?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Atta. So, okay, so when we talk about mental health, it refers to a person's overall psychological well-being. And what I would say is that the use of a phone, a mobile phone, even now we have so many types of phones. People use Android, people use smartphones and all have used. You see, the use of a phone may have an impact on our mental health. And this impact can be positive or negative. So first of all, in the positive aspect, of course, the use of a phone helps us to communicate. We are able to talk to our friends, talk to our partners. Even right now on this seminar, I believe some people have joined using their phones. And that's a positive aspect of the phone. So that excitement that you want, the mental health, the phone will give it to you, and you have that sense of happiness. Nevertheless, it can also have a negative impact on your life, where you tend to spend so much time on it, especially when you're even at a meeting and your phone is going off. Look at the kind of stress and anxieties, and even sometimes the sadness that you may go through. So the use of the phone may have a good impact on our mental health, at the same time also a bad impact on our mental health, even affecting our self-esteem. Because sometimes you go to a meeting, people try to showcase their phones and you do comparison. Hey, wow, my phone is not nice, my phone is cheap. And you start thinking and you start getting some kind of stress. So it can have both negative and positive impact on our mental health. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think you preempted my next question, which is related to the bad aspect of using phones. I want us to talk about staying on the phone for long hours privately, whereby throughout the whole night I'm checking people's status or I'm reading stuff and all that. Gloria, I would want to ask you, is staying on the phone for long hours, is it good for our mental health?
Thank you for the question, Doc. As a young person and as someone who we call ourselves the millennials, yes. So you see that the usage of phones has really increased. When you talk about phones, you're talking about smartphones. Recently, you see that very young children, adolescents, teenagers seem to be on the phone for a very long time. So what we are observing so far in the clinical world is that there are some increase in some of the mental health issues. In fact, as a matter of fact, some children who are born without certain conditions like autism, because of screen time, excessive screen time, they are seeing these things happen as a result of their constant stay on phone. There is no, should I say, screen time limits, making sure that the children stay on it for a certain number of periods and then you take it from them, and all that kind of regulation seems not to be there. So what we are seeing in the world recently is that staying on the screens for long definitely has, you can look at it from the biopsychosocial lens, biological impact, psychological impact, social impact. So physiologically, we are seeing a lot of sleep deprivation problems. People are not able to sleep because, like you said, staying on the phone for long, it's 12 midnight, you don't even know that it's 12 midnight and you're still on the phone. And it will definitely affect your eyes, affect your brain, and a plethora of other consequences that it can come with. So yes, the answer is that staying on the phone for long doesn't seem to have very good consequences. And as a matter of fact, as mental health practitioners, we need to be able to talk about it, create the awareness, enable people to be able to know the best ways to regulate their screen times. because we must not rule out the fact that phones are good and phones are important. Nevertheless, the ability to be able to regulate and use it for the good things that it has for us is what we should focus entirely on. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, straight to the point. Staying on the phone too much is not good for us. It affects our sleep deprivation and directly affects our mental health. Well, thank you, Gloria, for that. Dr. Dankwa, let me ask you, the use of phones in relationships. You find two partners out there, lunch, whatever, sitting their own somewhere, but you find them, each of them holding their phones, not talking to each other. How does this strengthen or weaken the relationship? Gloria, Dr. Dami, when I'm done with this, it all comes to addiction with the phone. So Dr. Dami, I want you to help us with addiction. So Dr. Dankwa, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. And first of all, I would want us to explore a little bit on the relationship, and then we zoom in to the use of the phone. You see, it takes two to tango. And before individuals or groups decide to relate, then there should be mutual decision of acceptance first. There should be mutual benefits, and there should also be mutual expectations. So these three things are very critical when it comes to relationship. So what it implies is that you would have to relate with somebody that you can flow with based on your mutual decision and what you all expect. So some people ideally relate and they are not able to connect. Their communication lines are already not very good. So such individuals may go out, like you said, probably they went there to eat, and because they are not the type that flow in their communication lines and discussions are very short. So they get there, they eat, and then communication is dry. And there are those that flow, those that relate and they're able to flow, they always create that ability to talk. So even you may really not find there's something you are talking about, but you realize that there is something to talk about again and then again. So those individuals will have a way of using the phone when they are together. So the point I want to emphasize here is that before the phone comes in as an assistive gadget in communication between these couples, it implies that their personal communication lines may not be very effective as individuals in a relationship. So when it happens that way, fine, we've gone out, we've had few discussions, that's fine, then the world must have us. So they will sit in there and they'll be chatting. And each of them will be so happy, smiling, and then communicating with others. If it is mutual, that is party A, party B, they are all communicating, you really don't find so much a distraction or disturbance, because they are all in it, they are all chatting, they are all happy, even though they are still there together. The other side that becomes worrying is when one party is really not chatting. One party really wants to get into the other physically and connect. And however, the other one's attention is being taken on the phone. That's why it's quite worrying. Then questions will start coming in, then disconnection will come in, mistrust will come in, and then the relationship starts going bad. So these are the two ways that relationship really comes in the use of mobile phones. So if they are all fine using the mobile phones, they don't really get worried because they feel that, well, we are okay. And when the other wants to communicate, want to connect, then there's an issue. So that is one point. Now, the other point too is that once the mobile phone comes in, it also pulls the individuals apart. Because you and I know that communication is the key to a relationship. And I always say that if you are not communicating, then you are not relating. But you only get to know the person that you are relating with when you talk, either verbal or non-verbal, silent, and all forms of communication. That's what connects you and the person. So be it mutual or not, it automatically or gradually separates the individuals. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that the use of phone, it's itself brings the question of communication. What communications lines do you have? What can you talk about? How you can do to, you need to look at your communication if that becomes a habitual thing. Okay, so Dr. Dami, can you tie in that with the addiction of the phone usage?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Atta. And okay, so when we talk about addiction, you see, addiction is something that it gets to a point where the person or the individual cannot do without it or stay without it. And in relationships, we may find out that people, though we are saying that it takes two to tango, they may be so much addicted to the mobile phone such that it may even try to replace their partners. So there's the need for people to overcome mobile phone addiction. It's just like internet addiction. People are always addicted to the internet to the extent that they can't always do without the internet. Because of course, you see, when you become addicted to something, you can't do without it. People are addicted to the extent that when they are driving, you see them using their mobile phones. Even when they are at church, you see them using their mobile phones. Of course, if not for scriptures or something. And even sometimes when they're even walking on the streets, they are using their mobile phones. Even sometimes when they're even bathing, they take it to their bathhouse, their phone will be there. Yes, and even sometimes they even put it under their pillow. So this shows that people may get addicted to an electronic device such as a mobile phone. And when it happens like that, it tends to create problems in the relationship. So there's a need for people to know and acknowledge the fact that they have become addicted to the phone, try to set boundaries on how they will use the phone, and try to create alternative habits that will replace the use of the phone. And if they can't stop the phone addiction, they will need to come for, they need support from a professional person through psychotherapy techniques so that you can be able to overcome being addicted to the phone. Other than that, it will affect you. Even at lectures, you'll be using the phone everywhere. Even sometimes when I walk on campus, I see students with their earphones all over them. A car will be shooting at them, and you are like, wow, can't you use the phone at a different time? So this shows that people have become addicted to it. But before you can be helped, you have to first acknowledge the fact that it is a problem and you need to be helped. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Dami. So that the use of the phone too much in the presence of a partner is not helpful. It raises the question of your communication. And so for that matter, too much means that you need help or you need to re-engineer how you communicate. Good, okay, that's fine. Gloria, now let's get into the main issue that we are discussing today. Going through your partner's phone, knowingly or unknowingly by your partner. Knowingly or unknowingly, my partner is going through my phone, I know. Or she snoops, she sneaks and looks. Knowingly or unknowingly. Is it healthy in a relationship? Let's get that thing out of the way.
Okay, Doc, thank you so much. To say that it is a good thing or a bad thing is something that I think we might leave to the audience eventually to come to a conclusion on. However, knowingly, intentionally, consciously picking somebody you are in a relationship with, picking his or her phone, and then going through it for whatever reason that you have. I think to be able to understand it, it's important to understand the origin or the cause of the behavior. Because we must understand that when people are putting up a certain behavior, they are not just putting up the behavior. There are certain processes that they go through before we see it physically manifest through the behavior. So, practical example, I'm in a relationship with someone and he's in the bathroom, his phone is lying on the table, and then I go and pick the phone. And I don't go anywhere, straight to WhatsApp. And then I'm going through, and then he comes out from the bathroom and he sees me with the phone. And he's like, Gloria, what are you doing with my phone? Then I become alarmed. And then either the phone drops or something. Such a scenario. Let's look at such a scenario. First of all, what informed me to go ahead and pick his phone and go through it? I must emphasize that before that behavior of mine came up, there must have been some things that I have been pondering and thinking about. There must have been certain things I have seen that had given me reasons that had caused me to begin to doubt. Because like Doc said, when you come together to be in a relationship, you both have a goal. You both want to be able to flourish and develop together. So there is expected to be trust, faithfulness, loyalty, name them. And that notwithstanding, we must also understand that even in that duality, there must be individuality. Even though we are together, we must still feel our individuality. Some people will think that because we are in a relationship, some people have the perception, because we are in a relationship, nothing should be a secret. We should share everything that we have together, share our bank account details, share our phone passwords, share all of those things. In another relationship, some people, even though they don't talk about it verbally, it's implied that we should have these things not hidden from one another because we have decided to become one. Elsewhere, some people also think that because we are together, it doesn't mean everything of ours becomes one. So for instance, I don't want my phone to be something that you go through. I don't want you to touch my personal things and all of that. So it's important for you to first, what kind of dynamics do you have in your relationship? You must understand, if you're getting into the relationship, if you are going to be the kind of person that would want the partner to share those things with you and to have that open discussions and have access to those things, have that clear in your mind so that should you start seeing certain things that you are not comfortable, certain things that threaten your peace of mind and make you wonder whether there is security in the relationship, you can sit down and talk to your partner about these things. So my point eventually is that, first of all, determine the dynamics in your relationship. And after determining and knowing that this my person is somebody who I can share phones with, then the issue of snooping is not a problem. But if it is implied in the relationship that there is privacy and my phone is my phone, and then that is when I see you picking my phone, I'll be alarmed that why are you going through my phone without asking me about without asking permission or whatever. Now, assuming that in this relationship, we want everybody to have their privacy, and that if you pick my phone, I expect you to tell me before you pick it. Then the question will be, without you asking permission and going to pick it, which is the snooping, what is making you do the snooping? So then back to my point, everybody has a need in a relationship. So if in the relationship I'm there, I expect to feel emotionally secure. I don't want to feel that another person threatens my relationship. I want to feel secured. I want to feel that this person is my person. Nobody is distracting him or her. Because most of the time, people are snooping for cues of infidelity, for evidence of infidelity. Most of the time, there might be other reasons, like if the person is hiding financial information or whatever, business information, but we seem to have most of the snooping issues happening because of doubts about the security in the relationship and all of that. Now, so if in the relationship, you begin to feel threatened, you begin to feel that I'm not safe, there might be something going on, and you want to confirm, somebody would say the ideal thing is to approach the person and ask and talk about it. But what if you do that and the person does not confirm and give you what you want to hear? So then your doubts is still standing. So somebody will think snooping will give me the evidence, so then I'll go ahead and do it. But when you do it, that is like 1,000 cuts. That's it, because you are going to see, if assuming something that you are suspecting is really happening, and you get into the phone and you see for yourself, you relive all those moments that whatever you saw had happened, and that is not healthy at all, because we have seen that it has led to a lot of people committing suicide, becoming depressed, and so on and so forth. So the temptation to snoop is high, but the question is, what is making you feel the doubt? What is threatening you in the relationship, which is pushing you to want to snoop? That is where we should tackle, because if that is resolved, there will be no need to snoop. All you will think about is sitting your partner down and telling him or her about how you feel. That I feel that what's the goal we had in this relationship, we are no longer towards that goal because of A, B, C, D. Then you talk about it. And I think with that, the tendency to snoop is gradually reduced or minimized. Yeah.
Thank you, Gloria. That's quite a perspective you have there. I would want facilitators, all of them, to share their perspective on this question. So, Dr. Dame, what's your take on that? Knowingly or unknowingly, your partner knows that you are looking, or she knows you are not looking. So, is it healthy for the relationship? Gloria has said much that your relationship dynamics will determine whether you can easily or uncomfortably do that. Whether if you have a problem, you are not comfortable, you need to ask questions and all. What's your take on it?
Thank you very much, Dr. Atta. So what I will say is that from my perspective and from my opinion, it's not healthy and it's not good to be looking or snooping into your partner's phone for whatever reason that you may have. Before you look into their phone, you should seek their permission. Other than that, it's like you are trying to break that trust or you want to betray them. Yes, and it will lead to a feeling of this arguments and doubts. You see, most of the time when people are going out, all of you are from different backgrounds and you are all coming. And you see, you tend to share about your past to each other. So that past that you've shared to each other may form a basis for other questions that may come up and will be raised in the relationship. So I think that taking your partner's phone without their consent and going through it may violate their privacy. Nevertheless, if both of you agree that you can take each other's phone and share videos and look at pictures on it and even get some apps together, that one is okay. But where the other partner is not aware and you pick it, I like what the other lady said, the panelist said, of privacy. You see, we have individuality and collectivity. So the fact that you are dating that person does not mean that you don't have that your private personal space. And oftentimes, as you are snooping, what you want to see, my brother, my sister, you may see it, and it may cause a problem. And some things are better not even seen than to be seen. You see, let me give you this, what happened about a month ago, one of my patients I was seeing, one of my clients. So this gentleman is married, and each time he puts money in his pocket, the money gets vanished. What is happening? Anytime I come home and I put money in my pocket, I can't see the money. Hey. So he called me, Jonathan, I have a problem. Then I asked, what is your problem? Something is happening to me. Is this spiritual? I said, no, it's not spiritual. What is the problem? Because of course, I'm not a chaplain. So he was like, Jonathan, anytime I put money in my pocket, I can't find the money. Okay, so I told him that, you see, somebody might be looking into your things. So since you are in the house alone with your wife and you don't have any child, let's do this experiment. When you go home, put 10 Ghana cedis in your pocket. He did it. The following day, the money wasn't there. Okay. He called me. I was like, okay, fine. Now put 20 cedis in your pockets. He goes home, the money is not there. Okay, so now I told him that, you see, I want to use psychology on this case. You know something, please try and buy a condom and put it in your pocket, and let's see what happens. He goes and buys the condom, puts it in his pocket, and the following day was the day that he saw the one who was taking the money. That was the wife. So you see, looking at people's phones and the rest is not healthy at all. The person might not tell you, but you are causing some kind of discomfort for the person. So on that note, I believe that I wouldn't advise couples to be snooping into each other's phone, irrespective of whatever reason that you think you want to achieve or you want to get from snooping. It's not healthy at all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's your opinion, Dr. Dame. Let's hear Dr. Dankwa's perspective on this matter. Knowingly or unknowingly, your partner going through your phone, is it healthy for the relationship? Dr. Dankwa.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me clarify a bit here. Like, I agree with all that my colleagues have said. I associate myself 100% with that. Dr. Adame even mentioned that if your partner knows it, then no problem at all. So if the person knows it, then it's not snooping. But once the person doesn't know, that's when it becomes snooping. And snooping is illegal, it's unethical, and it's unhealthy, which my colleagues have really mentioned. Now, even these days, you don't even find people practically picking your phone, but there are apps that they will download on your phone without you knowing and connect to their phone. So every chat that you have directly goes to their phone, all your videos, everything. So some people even go ahead and hack their partners' phones. And that is very serious. In fact, like Dr. Dami said, I have a client who practically collapsed because of snooping. He collapsed because the wife was really engaging another man, and every conversation that they were having was directly being sent to his phone. Their video calls and everything, the app was connecting and sharing with him. Why should you do this and that? However, there are instances that people snoop and they have a little bit satisfaction. So that's why the person is talking about the regret and then maybe the benefits. So I still want to emphasize that I agree 100% with what my colleagues have said, but I just want to play the other side. Now, there are people who may be in relationship and they feel that everything is not right or something is not right. It's gone on over and over to realize that their hearts are out. They are no more connected. They are in the relationship but are not alive. And they want to leave, but they don't have a reason. I always say that before you leave a relationship, you must have a reason. Else you go and then you would suffer. So some would want to find out either to get it and be healed or to get it and leave. So fight or flee. So there are people that when they are able to snoop and then they get the evidence, it helps them to take decision that let me leave after all. This is what has happened. So let me leave. There are others, like my colleague said, they snoop and then they get hurt. The other they snoop, they get the evidence, okay, now I've gotten the evidence. I know it. I will adjust. I'll know what to do. So snooping, I can say, is 100% wrong, but depending on the motive of the person. That's why we do investigation. Even when you go to court, there are investigations. I tell the people want the person wants to make his or her points, but there is no evidence, there's no concrete thing to stand on. And you ask your partner is telling lies. You do everything, you are not getting it. But you know that, Charlie, if I'm able to get into the system, I'll get it. And then they get it and they make their decisions. So that is also what I want to add to it. I think as we go on, I may add to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Damka. So in effect, so again, it comes down to the whole thing that the dynamics of the relationship is one factor that determines whether you have to knowingly or unknowingly go through your partner's phone. There is an issue that you're uncomfortable with that you want to find out for yourself. But that being said, unknowingly is unethical, it's illegal, and it's unhealthy. I think that the reasons why some people do this is that, but for the topic that we set, are there rewards in itself to snoop? Are there rewards in itself to snoop? Let me start with you, Gloria. Is there any reward in snooping on your partner's phone?
Well, first of all,
what are the stories that you hear in the consulting room?
Okay,
go ahead,
so
Gloria.
Yes, so for example, like I said, before anybody engages in that particular behavior, they must have a motive, they must have a reason, and especially when they are doing it knowingly, right? They are actually picking the phone and going through. There's something they are looking for. You can call that evidence of, most of the time, infidelity, you know? And so, yes, one can say that the reward is that whatever doubt or whatever is pushing you to indulge in this behavior will lead you to have the reward of evidence. Now you have the evidence, because with the evidence, you can make certain decisions. Okay, I've gone through the phone. I've seen all the things that I was thinking were happening. Now I have evidence to prove that indeed they were happening. For my mental health's sake, I'm going to use this evidence to make a decision. Should I stay or should I leave? And that is solely in the individual's hands, because we don't tell clients that do A or do B. So you lay down the perspective. Now you have all the evidence you wanted. How does it make you feel? What do you want to do about it? Some will tell you that, well, I've seen it and it doesn't look so serious like I thought. So I'll stay, I'll forgive him, I'll pretend I haven't seen anything. Others will tell you that, no, I can't. It means he's been unfaithful, he's been hiding and blah, blah, blah. So I'm walking away and I'm done with the relationship. So if you look at it, it's like a two-edged sword. Yes, it tells you that the rewards will help you to know what to do or what not to do. But then also, you look at the other side. If you start on this journey of snooping, know that you don't know what you are going to find, and prepare yourself for the worst. Are you psychologically prepared? Are you emotionally prepared? Do you know whether you can handle whatever you are going to see, assuming there's something to be seen? These are questions you must ask yourself. And if the answer to all of this after your personal assessment is, I don't think I'm emotionally ready, assuming he's cheating, I can't even imagine that he's cheating. How can I handle it if I find the evidence? So I will not snoop. But somebody else will say, oh, whatever it is, when I get to the bridge, I'll cross it. So I'll check, I'll go through it. So yes, the point is that the reward will be eventually that you have the evidence that you think you want, or you might not have the evidence. Whatever the case is, assess yourself, whether you are emotionally and psychologically, and in fact, physically, you can handle it, assuming the worst is what you're going to find.
Thank you very much, Gloria.
Yeah.
So Dr. Dapa told us a story about the man finding out something and he collapsed. Was he mentally, emotionally prepared? If he was, why would he have collapsed? So in that sense, that might be a regret. He's seen. So Dr. Dami, the collapsing matter, is that regrets, or there are other ways we could define the regrets?
Okay, thank you very much. So from where I'm coming from, I think that irrespective of the rewards that you may get in terms of your curiosity, in terms of self-satisfaction, whatever is happening, there's a song in Chi that kukuru kukuru nu jaya keka keka sube jai. So whatever your partner, whatever your partner is doing, or whatever you suspect, is what will push you to take whatever is happening. But I think that comparatively, the consequences that would happen or what you would experience will be more than the positive aspect that you would get. Because me, if you're even my friend, just a friend who, and I see you going through my phone, I would say it's phone harassment. You are harassing me on my phone. Yeah, so I think that there are no regrets. There are a lot of regrets that you would get. And the rewards, I don't think you really get any rewards, apart from the fact that you satisfy your curiosity. Okay, so your partner is cheating. What's next? That what's next, if it leads to depression, mental health issue, if it leads to suicide, mental health issue, if it leads to anxiety, mental health issue. So I think that when you are over suspicious of things like that, it sort of gives you mental problems. So I think that there are no rewards that you would get. It's rather regrets and issues that may come up after snooping on your partner's phone. Because you see, it is somebody's private life and you want to find out into it. And you see, some people even go to the extent of even calling with different numbers to find out things about their spouses or their boyfriends or their girlfriends. I had a case some years ago where, okay, so there's this gentleman who was married to a very, very beautiful lady. And his friend told him that the way the lady is beautiful, guys like her. So let's do this experiment on her and let's see if she will fall. Then the man went and bought a different chip, started calling their wife as if he was a different person, to the extent that the lady even fell for the man, only to realize that that was the husband. Then the lady was like, no, you can't accuse me. In the first place, all of us, what we did was wrong. You didn't trust me and you went ahead, and also didn't trust whoever was doing it. So I think that the regrets and the loyalty in the relationship may be questioned if we tend to be snooping into people's phones. Even the Bible says that we should mind our own business to some extent. So at a point in time, let's also try to mind our own businesses. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Damley. In that case, if there are a lot of regrets associated with snooping on our partner's phone than rewards. The rewards is satisfying our curiosity, seeing what we want to see. But on the other side of it, the regrets are quite extreme. And what prompted us to go looking for whatever on the phone? In that stead, is there something that we can do other than snooping on our partner's phone? If I envisage or I suspect that there's a problem going on, the issue of mistrust and all that have set in, so I want to snoop. Considering the regrets that you are telling me now and somebody is collapsing and all that, I'm afraid to go near snooping. What can we do as a couple to avert or to solve the problem that we are experiencing? Dr. Dankwa, let me start with you.
Okay, thank you for that question. First of all, if we are relating with someone and for any reason you don't trust the person, you either quit or build a trust. Because relationship without trust is like faith without action. It will not work, it will die. So that's the first thing you need to do. You either build a trust consciously tell yourself that for me, yes, I'll trust this person, even though you know that this can happen. For instance, no person gets into a relationship, particularly even marriage, and prays that the spouse should cheat. However, you can build your own coping strategies and mental strength that, yeah, anything can happen. So if he cheats, well, I'll do this, I'll do that, or I'll do. So you need to build yourself that way and give some allowance so that when it happens, there are shock absorbers there for you. You can easily build resilience. But if you think that you are the type that you can't, then you should either play your cards well or you should quit. That's the first thing. So that's what you need to do. Consciously building trust in the relationship. Now, the second thing is that I would suggest that we do not practice snooping based on all that we have spoken about. It's a suggestion, not a conclusion. The reason is that there are some people, no matter what you do, when you take the phone, you can't find anything. After all, we have delete for all. Some delete and will go to the recycling bin and delete. So what are you talking about? I have a client that will come and tell a counselor, I'm really kind with this lady. There's nothing going on with us. But the way we talk, the way the lady chats, I like it. I mean, I feel okay around them. There's nothing wrong. And again, I don't want to go into love and all that. But if she tells me I love you, I tell her I love you. But it's not this love that people think, which is also a misconception in its own way. So what the client does is that when he drives and it's about 10 minutes to the house, then he parks. It has become habitual. So every time he parks there, and then delete, or delete, and then go to the recycling and delete everything, and go to house cleaning. So maybe what he's doing, if it's really true, what will you get? So we need to weigh these things, and then to save our own soul. And then the next thing too is that we must also believe that even if we relate with angels, one day they can become devils. After all, Satan was an angel before he became a devil. So you shouldn't put your trust so much. You shouldn't trust the person. You shouldn't put yourself so much into the person that, oh, this woman there, she's only this man there will nothing. Something can happen. So you should also accept the acceptance of situation that will happen. And then the final one I was saying, we need to be positive about people we relate with. Always give them the chance. If they do the worst, you have stayed positive. Because at times, the individuals we are relating with ideally may not be doing anything wrong, but we perceive and we know how our mind is. The mind believes everything that we tell it. The mind doesn't do a research on its own. It's what we feed it that it works with. Garbage in, garbage out. So if we sit there and then we believe that, oh, my husband is cheating, my wife is cheating, you have filled your system with it, and adrenaline will come to work, and action will come. So we should be very much positive. Like Dr. Dami gave us the adage. There's also this adage in account that says that when you go trying to open up the eyes of the dead or the corpse, you finally see worms. But if you don't go and open it, the eye is closed, then so the worms are not seen. But if you go and open it, you see worms, and that will worsen your case. So let's be positive about relationships that we are going through. After all, we are two people coming together to share whatever we want to share. Allow individuals to be of themselves. Allow them to relate. Allow them to our mutual decisions so each person will be better. It's nice to relate, but when you go relating and you bring these things, you spoil it. And then the vacuum is left, and then mental health issues start coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dankwa. So in fact, we need to build trust consciously in our relationship. But my question to that was, you are doing everything possible to build that trust, but this partner is not helping you build that trust. What do you do in that state? You can write that down later and you can pick it up for me.
Oh, okay. I thought I'm to respond to that.
Well, respond to that so that we go on.
If the person is not doing it, you have tried several times, shall I let you quit? Let you quit. Because you are not created to relate with only one person. All these are suggestions. But why must you relate and feel bitter? One relationship is supposed to make you better. We take bitter pills to make us feel healthy. So you take the pill, it's bitter, because you know that it's going to heal you. What do you get if you take a bitter relationship? You're gonna die. You're gonna be mad. I mean, there are a lot of things you go through. So if you work over and over and over and over again, and it's not working, you must give a gap. You must quit. You must retreat and then build yourself and come back if applicable. You don't stay in there and get mental health issues. Because we all know the mind triggers. It's very difficult to get a complete restoration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dankwa. So it's about our mental well-being that we are having this conversation. Whatever step that you take within the relationship, you make sure that you are safe within that mental health space. So that if you are not safe, retreat, recover, and come back. And if your partner is not helping, the suggestion is to back out. Of course, there are other things that you can do, not to trust too much, not to snoop at all, and be positive. I think that positive aspect is what you need to make sure that you try your best to make it work. But there's a limit to which you can be positive and how you can work to it. Dr. Damian, let me ask you, is there anything that you would want to add? I'm pretty sure there is something that you would want to add.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Atta. And I think that, as Doc said, we need to build trust in the relationship and also communicate openly. And you see, we are all different. I always tell people that, you see, you know yourself very, very well. And you can control what you think about. But you can't control what your partner thinks about. And you should know that we have what we call character, we have temperament, and we have traits. You see, people are different. Let me take, for instance, somebody who is a sanguine, who is sociable, who is on social media, has so many friends, sending pictures. There's people, there are about 5 or 6 WhatsApp groups. And these WhatsApp groups, there are a lot of discussions, images, things are shared, blah, 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 blah on it. So you go and pick your partner's phone, and please excuse me, you see a pornographic material on it. If you are not careful, you might accuse your partner that she is the one who has been watching that pornographic material. But for all you know, it was sent mistakenly by someone on a platform that the person is. So there's the need for you to trust that person and know the person's limitations, weaknesses, and strengths. Because you see, other than that, you'll be fighting a lost battle. Because the things that you see, the things that you are hearing, the things that you are feeling may give you some form of knowledge, and that knowledge may not be true. You get it? There was a case that I saw recently. The man was accusing the wife of cheating, and that anytime they're having an affair, the lady would be on the phone and we'll be talking. And I'm like, wow, what is happening? So I called the lady to the phone, the office, and I was like, oh, most of the time she communicates with people at the office because she's in the IT department. And though she's having an affair with the husband, when there's a message, she has to reply to the message. So the whole night, though she's in the room, she's still working, she's at the office. So until the husband understood this aspect of the wife's work, he thought the wife was cheating, and there was no trust. So I think that you should trust each other in a relationship, communicate openly, and respect each other's privacy. Have it in mind that before you met the person, he was complete. He had friends, he has everything he was doing. You get it? So now that you've come into the person's life, you have to know your limit also as a partner and also as a spouse. Other than that, there will be problems. You are accusing me. Do I also know what you're also doing behind me? If both of us are snooping, what reward will we get? So I believe that we need to trust each other and we'll have a very enjoyable and peaceful relationship. I wouldn't advise couples to be snooping and checking on each other. Even now, people can even scan. As Doctor was saying, there are softwares that you can recover deleted messages. So even if the person deletes to the 4th degree, you can get a software that can recover everything. And what reward will you get? That is what I was saying. So please, let's build trust in our relationship, and all these issues of snooping may stop. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dami. Let's build trust. Whilst you are trying to build a trust, the issue about your mental health is also critical. So what steps are you taking to maintain your mental health? Gloria, would you like to top it up? Because I want us to discuss, we discuss the issue about regrets, but I would first want to read some comments. So Gloria, top it up, then I'll go to the chat box and see if I can read a few before we go on.
Okay. I think what I would like to quickly add to this topic of snooping and how it affects our mental health is that even before we get into relationships as individuals, right? We should be able to build ourselves to become so secure in ourselves that we know our boundaries, we know what we want, and we are clear about it in relationships, such that you don't go into the relationship and certain values you hold so high, when they are not returned, when you are given, you advise yourself. So you enter a relationship, you uphold loyalty, you uphold fidelity, you uphold respect, endeavor to attain them with your partner. It's something we should all strive for, such that there is no compromise, there's no bargain, because this is what you want. And this person you are relating with, you both come to an understanding before you start off with this journey, so that you don't get to the point where you are talking about your insecurities and the other person makes you feel bad about you feeling insecure. Meanwhile, you have reasons to point out why you feel insecure. The moment you start experiencing that, then know that no, this is not getting healthy as you want. So you then advise yourself. Yeah.
Okay. We need to build ourselves to feel secure, taking in steps to there's fidelity, there is respect in the relationship. If you feel insecure, you need to talk about it, and your partner should be willing. Other discussions that we had, we talked about communication and all that. It's quite useful that communication is very key in a relationship. Let me go to the chat box and read quite a few before we go on. Sarah Mata was asking the question which you've answered. What are the regrets of snooping on your partner's phone? Sarah, there are a lot of regrets. One of them is collapsing if you are not strong. iPhone too. That's assuming you have an adult conversation. When you talk about your discomfort, you could be accused of being insecure and could result in one being unable to share their concerns again. Well, communication is key, and you need to talk and make sure you understand each other. Mavis, you are fake. Please, can I get the recordings? Mavis, I'm sure this is your first time being here. We record this virtual meeting, and when we are done, we upload it onto YouTube. So we just go onto YouTube, type in the title, and you will find it there. It's also on our Facebook page as well as our website. You can do that on Monday. When you type it in, other webinars that we've had, all of them will pop up and you can enjoy all of them. You are free to watch all of them. Ebo Starlet, yeah, Doc, I think that there are results. That's the positive as well as negative. Negative results include broken heart, divorce, slaps, and fights. Joycelyn Sakpavi Biko. I believe people snoop when they feel insecure in their relationship. Again, I think depending on the relationship one have with the partner, if it's knowingly, then it's cool. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it for any reason. Yes, I think you share the same perspective with our facilitators. It's really crazy doing that. I remember when I started sharing the flyer, somebody told me that. This comment I'm jealous about, but Dr. Dami, I really appreciate your background. Very therapeutic for me. It's really nice, actually. Gillian, to everyone, positive results sometimes may lead to resolving whatever is hidden and prevent further negative action. Sometimes heals the heart of partners and brings clarity in the relationship. Well, if that is the outcome, that's fine, because for us, having your mental well-being in a safe space is our objective. But mostly the regrets are more than the rewards, and snooping is not healthy, definitely. Gillian, we just discussed your point. Whatever you are suspicious about, find a way of resolving issues than snooping. Lovetta, I feel people snoop when they feel cheated. Mensa wrote a very long story here. Let's see. My wife and I shared our phones. I saw a suspicious message. Then I snooped. It was good I snooped. It was guilt-tripped all the way. She was sleeping with her wife in the office, and out of that brought a pregnancy of twins that was not mine. When I suspected and began to ask questions, she got angry and wouldn't talk to me for weeks. All along, I had put my life on hold for a cheat who did not even find me sexually attractive. Today, I'm free. Wow, Vincent. Well, if you're secure, you should be prepared for anything before taking the action, positive or negative. Gillian, again, mostly people, the person who starts snooping is the one hiding something from the partner. Really? But to avoid snooping, first of all, be honest and truthful to yourself. John Wright, Adade, good presentation and rich content. That's also another long one. The case here is my partner has been diagnosed with slight mental health issues. There is evidence of awkward and unacceptable behaviors sometimes. There is also evidence of people calling her, texting her, and WhatsApping her with the intention of using her condition to take advantage of her financial and physically, etc., etc. As a partner, may I snoop on my partner to identify and wayward predators? John Wright, Adade, I think that I would have to refer you to one of my counselors here and take it up from there. This is one of those issues that you really need to talk to a professional. Kojo Conqueror, snooping is very okay because you can't marry someone you don't trust. Most of us wouldn't agree to marry and divorce later. So better I snoop to know who my partner is, to see if I have any reason to continue or to be quiet for me. I'll quiet, you didn't complete that. Well, I think that by now the perspective shared by the facilitators would inform you what next to take. John, upon great program, we need more of this. Thank you, John. Rose, to be honest with you, I'm enjoying the discussions. I'm from Rwanda. Thank you, Rose. When you get the flyer, share it with friends and colleagues, basically everybody in your network, and encourage them to share. We have unlimited space to have all of them here. Milda Corey also says, same here, great discussion, listening from UK. God bless you all. God bless you, Corey. Rose again, cheating is bad. People should stop it. Nothing good from cheating. KP Asante, trust is relative. Zach, snooping is illegal, unethical, and unhealthy. Dr. C.Y. Tutudampa, aka Tusi Baby. Hey, Dr. Dampa, you have you have an admirer here.
Thank you.
What about the people that need some oil? Niger, your question is not clear. Dr. Tutu was unable to establish the illegal basis of snooping.
Yeah, so please, can I come in here?
Okay, go ahead before we miss it.
Yeah, you see, in the IT world, we have unethical use of computers. And once you snoop into someone's computer or resources, it is illegal. That's why we have copyright, we have plagiarism and all that. So once the phone belongs to your partner, and then it's not a mutually used phone, and then without your partner's intention, you go into it, it's illegal, and your partner can sue you for that. So that is the illegal aspect. The fact that you are in a relationship with a person doesn't give you the right to snoop. If not, you'd have gone to take the person's car, the person's house, and you say that because you are related. Even spouses, you don't have that right. So it is illegal, and if the person wants to sue you, you can be sued. Thank you.
Thank you. Gloria, mine, I'm at a pair. If there is nothing to hide, why fear to be snooped? Let's all say faithful, especially men. Partners should be able to snoop whenever possible, avoid cheating. Well, we are here to share ideas and for you to make your perspective. As to the consequences, we are yet to discuss. So my next question, I'll come back to the charts. There are lots of them. I'm not sure. My next question is, what can one do in the event of a regret? Now we understand what the regret is. You go through and there are consequences, negative consequences. What can one do? Let me start with you, Dr. Adami. What can one do in the event of regrets?
Thank you very much, Dr. Arthur. So I think that first of all, you have to apologize to your partner for whatever thing you've done, for invading their privacy and snooping into their phones for whatever reason that you wanted to get. And also, there's also been a need for you to openly, of course, apologize to your partner and communicate effectively with your partner that it wasn't your intention, but because of one or two reasons, you are very sorry, and also respect that boundaries. And after that, don't engage in that behavior again. You see, most of the time, people would push even their partners to put passwords on their phones because of all these things. Because if your partner suspects that in their absence or in his absence, you're able to go to their phones, even to tell them some of the things you saw and the rest, then you're telling them that, hey, you are too loose in this relationship. Anybody at all can take your phone. So I think that in the event of regrets, there's a need for you to see your mistakes, whatever you have done, and apologize to the other partner and move on with the relationship and promise yourself and your partner that this will be the last time you are doing that. Because of course, you see, most of the time there's insecurity. You feel insecure in the relationship.
Dr. Dame, before you go on,
okay.
Yes, I apologize for snooping.
Okay, yeah.
I've sincerely apologized for snooping and get to know the boundaries. But there is a matter. There is a matter that I've seen that has impaired the trust that I have for this individual. So yes, one, I have apologized for snooping. What about that impaired trust that as a result of snooping, it has been created in the relation. It will create in the relationship. What about that aspect too as well?
Okay, thank you very much. So supposing you snooped and what you wanted to see, you saw it. Their partner is also at that point in time to explain whatever the issues are and also to apologize to you that please, okay, fine, this and this and this is what I was doing, but please, I want to promise that I wouldn't do it again. Because you see, at that point in time, all of you are at fault. You went to check and you've seen something. So it's for the other person also to say that I'm also sorry for whatever has been done, so that there'll be peace. Other than that, if you don't apologize to me as well, both of us, we've done something wrong. So you have to apologize to each other. Though you think mine is more bad because maybe for, you know, I'm cheating someone, but you also went ahead to also check something without my consent. And as Doug was saying, these things may have legal implications. Yeah, because you are invading somebody's privacy and it is dangerous. So I would say that each party should apologize to each other so that there'll be peace. As Doctor said, I took his one of his statements that we are all not angels or whatever it is. To err is human and to forgive is divine. So at that point in time, you forgive each other and you move on with your life. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Vikenzi, you are welcome. Dr. Sandra Thompson, you're also welcome. Rasfe, I see you, you're also welcome. Dr. Damka, would you like to top it up?
All right, thank you. I want to top it up. I agree to what he said. Apologies and all that are very important. And now we are looking at the person who saw what must not be seen and is now hurt. Irrespective of the person doing the wrong thing, I mean, the damage is there. So how do we help these individuals to control the damage? And I want to use a model because the spare model, I developed it. The first point is that the S means you have to speak out. Because once you've seen it, if you harbor it in, it will kill you, it will damage you. So you speak to your partner about it. That is what I've seen. I'm not comfortable. Even though I'm sorry for snooping, but can we talk about what has happened and know? Because in relationship, we stop and we know, and that's what makes it grow. Now, if you discuss with your partner and you are still not healing, you need to talk to a professional, talk to a mental health practitioner to support you, to give you therapy, to build yourself. So that is the speaking out. Now, the second X is stop talk. Now, the stop talk says that when you see things like that, negativity can start dropping. Hey, this person, I will kill him. I have a client who snooped and saw something and called. Counselor, I want to kill him. I want to kill him. I'm trying to kill him. I'll kill him. I'll kill him and kill myself. All these are ideas that come because of adrenaline rush and other things. So quickly, you need to tell yourself that this can end and stop the negative thinking. Some people want to kill themselves. It's negativity, you stop it. Then the P is that you need to stay positive, which I've spoken about it. Yes, the person is worse and all that, but there's possibility in everything that happens. That's the reality. Every situation that happens to us, you use it to learn. What did you do wrong that your partner has done this? Now, we always tie snooping to cheating. It's not only cheating. There are so many things, financial issues and all that. Some they are bad. Some people have given birth and they're feeling the mood. I mean, all these are there. So you need to look at the positive. The worst has happened, but what is the positive way to overcome it? And the second B is that whether we believe it or not, we cannot rule out prayers. Mental health, spirituality, prayers, faith, it helps. So if at the time that you believe that praying to God will help you heal, please do it. This is a practical thing. Then we have the A. The A is acceptance. You must accept that it has happened. If your husband or your wife is going to cheat, if there's a secret somewhere, you must accept that this thing has happened. Acceptance helps you to heal quickly. The second A is take action. Once you have accepted it, what are you going to do so this thing doesn't happen again? The R is that recreate. Now, when you find yourself in such a situation, you get damaged. So consciously recreate. Recreate yourself as an individual and recreate with your spouse. Go out and then enjoy life. It helps in the healing. Because if you do not recreate, you hurt yourself. The second R is resilience. It has happened. What steps are you taking to come out? You need to, because no matter what you learn, whether you like it or not, some of these things are about to happen. So be resilient, come out. And then the key say that get empowered. Maybe you did something wrong, that's how your partner did that. Empower yourself, add value to your own self. When you add value, it's important. And you don't stick on other things, wasting so much time. And the final E is that be enlightened about your relationship. Know more about the person you are relating with. What to make the person feel good or what to make the person feel bad. And do that and you feel good. So let's apply the SPARE model and it will help us heal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dankwa. The SPARE model. Let's see if we can. It says, speak out, stop the talk, the negative talk, stay positive. As religious as we are, pray if you can, accept that it has happened, and that makes you heal faster. Take action, what necessary steps, positive steps you can take. Recreate, build resilience, empower yourself, add value to yourself, and finally, enlighten yourself. Sometimes in some relationship, our life is around our partner. So in the event of things like this happening, then we go haywire. We've discussed it before. So recreation, enlightenment, and empowerment allows you to diversify your interests and get to have new things that you can focus on. Thank you very much, Dr. Dankwa. Gloria, after this model, would you add something to it?
Yes, I think what I'd like to say finally about what to do after you have done the deed of snooping, and now the onus lies on you to decide on what to do. It's important that you don't even get there in the first place. However, should you get there, the ultimate thing is to communicate. The communication that you avoided and then you eventually went to snoop, you are coming back to it to communicate. So it's important you communicate whenever you have doubts. Find a way to communicate to your partner and try and resolve whatever issues that you are thinking or whatever you have observed. Talk about it and come to the same page. In a healthy relationship, that should be possible. So basically, that's what I'd like to add to all of that we've said today.
All right, thank you very much. Let me go to the chat box. I have about 34 new messages coming. I'll try and read a few of them. I'm not sure I can read all of them, considering our time. Emmanuel G4 says that being in a relationship also means each know the limits or boundaries. Having sex at the same time, chatting, I think is somehow questionable. Please, can you give counsel on this, Dr. Dame? Maybe you have to see Dr. Dame in privacy. That is how we mentioned that earlier on, the use of phones when partners are together and how that strengthens or weakens their relationship. I think this one weakens it. I can't imagine that. The spouse should also look their action, which is giving rise to the spouse insecurities. Okay, we've mentioned that. Totally agree, both sides check about behavior. iPhone, would you be kind enough to write your own name so that we can mention your names? What should one do to assure their partner that they don't feel insecure? They trust them, but their familiarity with their ex, the same one who hurts them, is their concern, especially when one's partner is still encouraging or making themselves too available to their ex. It is my problem at the moment. I think this one, we need to address it now. I wouldn't ask you to go see them behind. If they have to come, if iPhone has to come in the consultation room, you can tell him, but what must he do? His ex is giving, his girlfriend now is giving too much attention to her ex. I'm pretty sure, so I don't even know whether you're a male or you're a female, iPhone, you see. Dr. Dami, what do you think?
Thank you very much. That's a very fantastic.
Should I read again?
Yes, please. Yeah.
What should one do to assure their partner that they don't feel insecure? They trust them, but their familiarity with their ex, the same one who hurts them, is their concern, especially when one's partner is still encouraging and making themselves too available to their ex. It is my problem at the moment.
Yeah, so yeah, that's so interesting and so informative. So what I would say is that, you see, now you are no longer with that person, you are with a different person. So please try and cut or limit all forms of communication, interaction, and engagement with your ex, because the moment your new partner sees that there's some form of communication or engagement, that level of insecurity, level of trust becomes a problem. So what I would say is that stick to one person. Yeah, we will say in Ghana that like sit at one place. Don't be everywhere at any time. So make sure that you cut all forms of communication with anybody who is related to any romantic relationship with you and everything. Because you see, if you are doing that and your husband and your partner is not happy about it, what if he also does the same thing to you? Will you be happy? No. So what our advice is that don't make yourself too much available to your exes, because you see, you once had a very, very enjoyable or good relationship or time in the past. The moment you try to make yourself available to him or her, that availability might be misconstrued to mean that, oh, now I'm coming back again into your life. So if the person is your ex and you don't want anything like with that person, please try to cut communication with that person. People would even block people's numbers or delete it so that it wouldn't affect your new relationship with the new partner. So try that you cut all engagement, communication. I know it may not be easy, but with time, you can make it so that your new partner will feel very secured and the level of trust he or she has for you will be high. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dami. You've given one aspect of the advice, which is very much appreciated. I would specifically ask Dr. Dankwa, my partner is communicating with the ex. I am worried. What do I need to do? Sorry, I did not hear that.
I thought that I like the specifically to that.
Yes, yes.
You see, for me, I agree totally with what Dr. Odami said. But we should also remember that our exes are not our enemies. And it's not every breakup that broke because of pains. And that should also tell us that when individuals are breaking up, we should help them to break up well. Because at times, the breakup was not really done well, and still the vacuum of that individual is still created. And at times, the new person that has come in no matter what, may not be able to fill that vacuum. So first of all, if you see that your partner is so available to the ex, don't be angry. Just talk to her, get a counselor, and then you all try, get help, so that we try to break your spouse mentally, spiritually, and all the list, all other aspects from that person. Because until that is broken, the person may go back, no matter how religious or whatever person, because that need, that vacuum is there. So it's not a matter of being jealous. It's not a matter of telling the person that stop, don't be available to him or to her. It's a matter of filling the vacuum and now making the present or the current person follow up to that vacuum. At times people break up. Their mind knows that they're broken up, but their hearts are still in there. So we need to do that communication so the person will break out totally. When that is not done, they will always, most people will always go back to their exes. So that's what I'm going to add.
All right, thank you very much. Gloria, from your experience in the consulting room, how can partners use the convenience of the phone to strengthen their relationship, to avoid this snooping and all that?
Okay, thank you very much. Like we said from the beginning, phones are here to stay. And so we should maximize the positives and then minimize the negatives, right? And with the phone can serve a lot of purposes in the relationship. You can talk about entertainment, you can talk about education, you can talk about experiences. So typical example, these days, there are a lot of things going on social media. You might just want to share something you've seen with your partner on your phone, something that you know that you both enjoy. You can learn on the phone together. You can watch movies on the phone together. You can maximize the good use of the phone together, which will eventually strengthen the relationship and strengthen your mental health. Actually, studies have shown that partners who do these things together, who share, learn together on the phones, watch funny videos and do all those things together, seem to have an influence on the longevity of the relationship, right? So we encourage that as much as possible, learn to do things together with your partner. There was something I read recently about bits. For instance, if you bid your partner to come into your world. So if, let's say, I like videos on fashion and I see something interesting, I can share this with my partner. He also sees something about how to make simple decorations at home. He sees this on TikTok or something. He shares it with me. We do it at home. We do all these things together. So the positives of the use of phone can be shared together. And I strongly believe that even when you do this, you are in a way building trust and building the relationship to a point where you can be able to share whatever it is that you want to share with your partner. So yes, it's important that we maximize the positives of the phone together with our partners and do things together with a common goal, with the aim of making the relationship flourish as much as possible.
All right, thank you, Gloria. Let me go to the chat box. Emmanuel Afeti. I'm currently in a distance relationship where I have heard a lot about the lady. I remained calm and met her in person just to snoop. I have seen what I was looking for. I confronted her and she said he's just a friend, even though he proposed to her. She further said she don't want to make him feel bad after she told her she's in a relationship with me. That is why she's giving him attention. My question is, am I safe in the relationship? since we are not close to each other, but I want to work out. I'm sure you would have your answer by now. You need to talk. You need to communicate. You need to assess the relationship. The counselors are there in the background. You can have a private chat with them and take it up from there. Beta Ofori. Some rewards can be positive, where one partner will be free to live his or her life than to be cheated and treated badly. Yes. Doreen, God bless all the facilitators, very insightful submissions. Thank you, Doreen. iPhone, I'll jump over you. I'm glad I joined the seminar, very educative. Thank you, Asmao. Pastor Antoine Hovey, wow. Could the Holy Ghost inspire a spouse to pay attention to a developing vice in a marriage situation? Sometimes this is timely to help a spouse who may have gone astray, but is too stuck to confess and solicit help to get out of it. Pastor, this is your question there. I don't see the phone matter. The Holy Ghost making a phone, but may I advise that you can talk to one of my counselors, chat behind closed doors, because this is more detailed than straightforward. Vikenzi, Doc, this is powerful. More of this education. Thank you, Vikenzi. Josephine, cheating is a choice, not a mistake. If you don't like someone, leave. Jones Tagbo, I tried this snooping thing before, and the outcome is something I don't want even to remember. For me, I have trained myself not to think of what is happening to her phone. Okay. Adjoa Mensima say, great presentation by the resource person. People should always know who they are marrying. If at the onset of your relationship, you have a difficulty trusting your partner and you can't cope with it, discontinue with the relationship. That is why we have the counselors all here. You can chat with them privately, have their number, and go for consultation. They are more than ready to do that. Kinsley, thank you. Good presentation. Lydia Winifred Mensah, I think we have to be very faithful. Yes, of course. Filipina Tufo, we must know that men are mortals and can disappoint at any time. Dr. Danko have said that. Let's learn to have this deep down so that we don't get too shocked and disappointed, which will go a long way to affect our mental health. Serum, that's very, in the event of regret, seek for therapy. Walker, good afternoon. This meeting is very, very educative. Hope I get one counselor here who I can share my relationship problem with. Walker, you have every right to chat with them privately, directly, and so that you take it up from there. Josephine, partners normally snoop when they suspect the other. Emmanuel Dufour, can we say that snooping is a result of trust? Yes, when trust issues come in, snooping can result, but you need to work at it, communicate, build it. Vikenzi to everyone, thanks so much, Doc. Ebo Starlet, apology and reformation of character, exactly. Ella Ejiri, can you trust your spouse after you snooped on their phone and we both can settle the issue, or is there a chance that the person can do that again? Can you trust your spouse? Well, I think that you apologize, he or she apologizes, you work at it, you try the spare model. I think there is hope for the future. I think there is hope for the future. Diana Rahel also, please, will we get the slide and recording? Thanks. Yes, Diana, you'll get the recording. Type in the title of this seminar, hopefully on Monday. It should be on YouTube or on our Facebook page. By then, we should be finished working on it. Jocelyn, again, Doc, in most cases, you are not given the chance to explain yourself, to even talk of apologizing, especially if you are a woman. At the moment, all the trust is broken. Jocelyn, there are 3 counselors here. Talk to one of them directly and take the conversation up. You need to talk more of this. Okay, Elijah again. Trust is what partners need to build and sustain relationship. That is true. Couples should learn to be transparent in their day-to-day interaction. This is from Snooping, that's correct. David Nabuari, in any relation you find yourself, there must be personal boundaries and privacy that should be respected by partners. You just have to have boundaries. Well, that's your perspective, David. Emmanuel G4, what does one have to do if snooping of a partner's phone snooping of a partner becomes a norm or consistent? You need to talk about it. If you have to seek for therapy, please do. You have 3 of them here. But mostly the regrets are more than the rewards. Okay, that's we've heard that before. Josephine, sometimes communication doesn't work unless after the snooping and the truth comes out and the issue is settled. That's quite interesting, Josephine. Well, good for you that the issue is settled. That is what we want, so that your mental well-being will be intact and safe. Lady Na, oh, you are welcome. Very insightful discussion. Building trust in a relationship is very essential to avoid unnecessary problems. Thank you all very much. God bless you. Thank you, Lady Na. Thanks for the lecture, very essential topic. Samsung, I snooped not for infidelity, but discovered that my husband has accumulated so much money in his mom when I had to use my own money to cure my hospital bills and medication. Well, that is also another side of it, but I think that this is something that I'm sure you've worked at it. Other than that, you need to talk about it. Dr. Danko, is there something that she can do if they've not addressed the issue?
Okay, is that about the one that has a lot of money?
No, Samsung, I'm pretty sure she's a female. I snooped not for infidelity, but discovered my husband has accumulated so much money in his mom. I think in his account when I had to use my own money to cure my hospital bills and medications.
Yeah, it's also still snooping, because if the person you are relating with has not opened up his finances, and then you feel that he has money, it's still the same communication. Now, if you snoop to see that he has a lot of money and he will not give you, he won't give you. Snooping will not cause the person to keep. It's a matter of the person valuing you and knowing that you are important in his life and decide to help you. So that's what I would want our lady to hear. But if she wants further discussion, she can contact us. But we need to, go deeper. What are you doing, right or wrong? What is the man doing, right or wrong, that you are unable to help each other until you sue? What about if you take the money off the moon? What will you sue for? So we need to get deeper. Thank you.
All right, we need to get deeper. Talk to them. They are available directly and take it up from there. Theodora, my boyfriend has access to my phone all the time. He reads all my messages, including emails, but secretly has my WhatsApp open on his laptop, which he doesn't know I know about. What should I do? So after having all that access, her WhatsApp chat is open 24 hours on his laptop, and it looks like Theodora is not comfortable about that. What should Theodora do? Dr. Dami?
Thank you very much. No, this is so interesting. Wow, Theodora, wow. So I was just thinking through the issues and I was like, wow. So how would the guy feel if Theodora also has all his WhatsApp messages on her laptop as well? I think it's not healthy, it's not good at all. But of course, you see, it's like you are controlling the person's behavior and everything. Why are you doing that to the person?
So what should Theodora do in this case?
And even you yourself, why do you want to be monitoring and snooping that from the discussions? He should ask the gentleman, whoever is involved, why he's doing that. You know, sometimes you have to face reality and go forward and ask. Because on the day, even if you step out from the office and you forget to lock or close your laptop and your colleague even enters the office, you are exposing her messages to everyone in your office or to the whole world. So I think that Theodora should get the courage to politely, in humility, ask the gentleman that what he's doing, he doesn't like it. Is comfortable about it, and I should stop that behavior. It's not good at all. You see, we are saying that it's not good to snoop, fine, but going to the extent of having somebody's messages on your laptop, and people come to your office, they will go up and down. So I think that Theodora should communicate with the guy, know reasons why he has it on the laptop, and you should assure him that assure her that he would delete that thing from the laptop. It's not healthy at all. For the sake of their relationship, and even for security reasons, it's not good at all. It's not good at all. So you should get the courage and approach the boyfriend.
Well, I can't sense how much insecure that the gentleman feels in this case for him to be reading and have a 24-hour surveillance on the girl. I mean, I just can't think of it. Gloria, you are. What's the woman's perspective on this one?
Well, Doc, I don't know, but maybe some other time we should talk about attachments and attachment in relationships.
Okay.
To feel secure in your relationship and to feel anxious, to feel avoidance, there are all types of attachments. And I'm seeing so many of the comments coming are clearly showing what kinds of attachments some people seem to have in their relationships. To have a healthy relationship, it is ideal that you strive to become secure. And the characteristics of secure attachment are a lot, such that you feel secure in yourself, you have boundaries, healthy boundaries, you are able to communicate clearly what you want, what you like, what you dislike, and it should be vice versa. So these two people coming together should feel secure and come together and build this relationship. If you have somebody who feels secure in a relationship with somebody who has anxious attachment, you're not going to see healthy things going on. Like, for instance, I mean, I can't imagine that you have logged onto a laptop and 247, whatever is going on my phone, it is appearing. I can't imagine it. And like Doc said, it is not healthy. It is illegal. Like, at some point, some boundaries should be clearly expressed without you mincing your words. And in order to be able to express these boundaries, first of all, as an individual, do you even know what you like and what you don't like? I think most of us need to be able to do that homework, such that we know what we like, what we can tolerate, what we can't tolerate, what we can deal with, what we can't deal with. If we don't do that, or if we don't know that, how can we relate with people? It will be very difficult. So we need to be able to look at it in this broad perspective about the deeper level of why we are indulging in these behaviors. It's not enough to just talk about, it's not enough to just say, oh, do this, don't do that, do this. You must delve deeper into you, this person. Why are you indulging in this particular behavior? And then essentially you seek therapeutic help. It is very, very important. Because if you want to solve it, you have to be able to go deep and look for the patterns, because the patterns are things that are happening over time and they have become what you are seeing. It is manifesting. And it's not enough to just look at maybe the manifestations, but to go deeper and then resolve some of these issues. It's very, very important for your mental health, as if you're able to do that. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Todora, you are very worried. Because putting this up means that you are worried. And like Laura is saying, it's more deeper than that. And from the charts that also followed your conversation, if you go to ask him now without therapy, would that promote further distrust because you don't want him to read? Others are saying, let him read for you to build your relationship. But I think that it's more deeper than that. So you should go in for therapy. Joyce Daniels, happy to see you. Is that the Joyce Daniels that I know? Wow. More reading. Desmond. Okay, I think that all all the comments are related to what so I'll skip them. Richard Anas, my wife usually go off with a little issue, and at times I'm not aware of the issue, and as a result it blocks communication for days. Well, you need to talk some more, have that quiet time talk with her, because keeping quiet will not solve the problem. The problem is still there. So you need to talk some more. As well, can you love two people at the same time? Well, that needs further investigation. Ebo Starlet, no man can serve two masters at the same time. Ebo has answered you. It is either love or hate or the other. Remember, there are two different forms of love. Fozia, I'm glad to have joined this meeting. Thanks, Dr. Dankwa, for sharing. I'm really educated. Emmanuel Jifwa, please, can I get the model again? Yes, you can get the model again if you go to watch the video when we upload it on Monday. Greetings, Samsung. Greetings from the Caribbean. I believe that the best way to really know your partner is to check his or her cell phone occasionally. Well, that's your perspective, Samsung. To Desmond, you replied to actually, okay, so that is your private conversation. If you can love one, to actually on if you can love two people at the same time, I will ask if you meet the two people at the same time. Do you also fall in love at this is a bit complicated, Desmond. And sometimes if you can take your time, right, well, it makes the reading easier. Isaac Kojokusi, I really enjoyed today's topic. In fact, I've learned a lot. Thank you. Patricia, thank you as well. iPhone, you can't look into two bottles with one eye. Okay, that's correct. Everyone has their negative and positive. Okay. Emmanuel G4, she snooped and saw on several occasions her husband was sharing pornographic pictures with ex-girlfriend for 2 years. Therefore, she filed for divorce because the man is infidel. That is a very serious word to use here, Emmanuel, infidel. What's your take on this? Dr. Dami, would you like to take that one up?
Yeah, the sharing of pornographic materials to the
ex-girlfriend for 2 years. Therefore, she filed for divorce. Well, if she filed for divorce, that is the that is the position she took. What more? We can't say she's right or wrong, but it's a personal issue. That be that as it may, if she thinks that she needs to be in the relationship again, she needs therapy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. What I will also say that, you see, it's not healthy and it's not good to, as couples or people in relationships, to be having pornographic materials on your phone. Because you see, it can lead to addiction. A time will come that you'll be addicted to the pornographic materials to the extent that even if you're having an affair with your wife or husband, you have to picture that person you saw in the pornographic video to be able to get your satisfaction. And even sometimes to realize that until you watch the pornographic materials, you will not be able to satisfy your partner. There was a story that I was solving not long ago, of a guy who was watching pornographic material on his phone. And in fact, he had low battery and there was also light off in his house. So he couldn't use the phone again. He left the phone at home. The wife went to charge the phone. The wife put on the phone, and there were a lot of pornographic videos and things on it. And it was a whole problem in their marriage. So I would advise even couples or relationship people that they shouldn't even be sharing and sending nude pictures. You see, whatever you put on social media may remain forever. So you want to have these pornographic things on your phone. You want to share a picture, you tell your boyfriend or girlfriend that please send me a picture of this part of your body. He sends it to you, you want to comment on it, and mistakenly you even put it on your status or something, or you even share it on a wrong platform. Like a lady who was sharing a picture of herself to the boyfriend and put it on a church platform. And everybody in the church, you only know where people look first when a lady's naked picture is put on a platform. So I would say that it's not healthy to be engaged in these pornographic materials and nude pictures on our phones. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see the hand of Apostle Samuel. Apostle, I think you have a question to ask. If you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Apostle Samuel Edu. I guess he mistakenly raised his hand. We are past our usual time by 30 minutes. So it's about time that our facilitators give their final words. From the chat, it looks like a comment has attracted all that comment. So we will do them away for now. So let's take our final words from our facilitators. Let me start with you, Gloria. Final words.
Yes. Thank you, Doc, for this opportunity. This program was very insightful. Getting to know what's happening in real life, in real time with people as far as relationship is concerned was very, very interesting. I'd like to live on a personal note, saying that indulging in the behavior of snooping is like 1,000 cuts, right? And before you indulge in any behavior, ask yourself whether you have the psychological capital to be able to withstand whatever it is that you are going out there to find. If you ask yourself these questions and you know that you don't have the capacity to withstand it, I advise that you stay away and find other means to resolve whatever trust issues you are beginning to have in the relationship. Because at the end of the day, if you don't find the best way to talk and communicate, eventually, if you snoop, you're going to get back to communicate. So why not communicate and avoid all the consequences that snooping comes with, so that you will be able to safeguard your mental health, which is very, very important. Yes, so thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you very much, Gloria. You've been quite helpful in this stead. Dr. Dankwa, your final words.
Thank you again. What I want to end is that relationship is sweet. We all need somebody to lean in on. So let's do things right. Let's build trust for ourselves. Let's make the other person better, as the other person also makes us better. That's the essence of relationship. Whatever makes it bitter, try and resolve it. and enjoy it. If you try severally and it is not gelling, for the sake of your mental health, retreat, rebuild yourself, and then restart. There's solution for every situation. So don't die in your relationship and don't get mentally unhealthy in your relationship. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't get mentally unhealthy in your relationship. You need to be healthy. All right, Dr. Adame, your final words.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Atta. What I would say is that we shouldn't get so much addicted to our phones to the extent that our phones will replace our partners in our relationship. We should know the appropriate times to use our phones, because you see, sometimes it's so frustrating, it's so not good when you're talking to your spouse or your partner and they are on their phone. It means they don't even value whatever you are telling them. So I advise that we should know when we use our phones. And you see, we are all not the same. And today's topic, the rewards and regrets of snooping on your partner's phone. You see, it's by case analysis. Some people, they will snoop, they will not have any emotional distress. Others too, they will snoop and it can lead to suicide. Others too, they will snoop and it can lead to depression. Others too, they will snoop and it can even lead to a prayer camp for deliverance. So please, I would advise that let's know our boundaries. Let's build trust and communicate effectively in our relationship. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adame. Thank you, Gloria, and thank you, Tusi Baby. I like that one. I like that one. Thank you, Tusi Baby. Well, it is not for us to tell you to snoop or not to snoop. For us, your mental health and well-being is what is important to us. We want all of us here to be in good shape mentally. That is why we keep on having these discussions at the end of every month. You've listened to the facilitators. They've shared their perspective. They've said, don't do it, do it. It is for you to make a decision now. The rewards and the regrets of snooping. When you weigh, which side would you fall? Which side would you fall? That is where you need to take the decision. Even if you've decided to snoop and you find out what you want to, you've seen what you wanted to see, you first have to apologize for snooping, and your partner must also apologize. Then you communicate well. Worst case scenario, work out, retreat, recover, and come back. We've learned a lot today. For me, I'm going to listen again because I need to. And there was also a model. Tusi Baby gave us a model. Spare. Speak out, stop the talk, stay positive, pray when it's necessary, accept that it has happened, take action, recreate, build resilience, add value to yourself, be empowered, and enlighten yourself. And enlighten yourself. This is a model that she works with. Well, I think that is a good model that we can look and review and use it in our lives to be better. On that note, I want to thank each and every one of you. I think today we've had the highest turnout so far. We had almost about 357 participants, the highest so far. What it means that this topic is a good topic. Gloria said we should look at attachment in relationships, whereby you attach yourself to only your partner, and when there is a problem, then you find yourself wanting, you don't know where to go. Well, I'll talk to my editorial team and we'll see what we can do about that. That being said, let me remind you that we have a call center. Again, the number is 0800-678-678. Works between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. If you need psychological first aid, they are there to help you. When it's higher than them, they refer you to counselors that we have on the other side. So let me thank all of you for coming. You've made it very worthwhile. Our facilitators, Dr. Dame, Dr. Dankwa, Gloria, all of you, you've done so much well. You've made it very fruitful. I mean, the comments really tell it. And over 350 participants of you guys, we also thank you. So on that note, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll see each other same time next week. Those of you who are still on, I would appreciate it if you can switch on your cameras. Then I'll take a quick photograph of all of us. Then we can get out of here. Switch on your cameras. Switch on your cameras. Let me take a quick photograph. Fantastic.
Sure.
Those who are not switching their cameras means that they are not paying attention. All right. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful having all of you. God willing, same time next month. I'm sure it will be on the 31st of March if we're in good health. We will meet again with another fantastic topic. So enjoy your weekend and have a blessed weekend. The program has ended. Thank you very much. You can stay on and chat privately with the counselors. They are more than happy to listen to you privately in consultation. Emmanuel says I should retake the pic. Okay, Emmanuel, I'm taking the picture again. Okay. All right. Emmanuel, I've done that for you. Okay, there are about 8 slides. So, okay. Let's see. People are dropping off. Those of you still on, you can still have your cameras on. I'm taking a fuller picture now. Sweetie Pie, I see you. And Vikenzi, I also see you. Phoebe, I also see you. I hope you are well. Geraldine, I also see you. Kwaku, let's talk after here. Sorry.